is up, guys? Phoenix here, and today we're going to be doing part 4 of our Funtime Freddy pixel art tutorial, which is from the Finalizing Freddy sister location. And as you can see, it's coming out pretty crisp. As we finished before, we did the hat, the ears, the top of the face, and now we're on the lower half. We've left a couple of markers for us to continue, and we're going to be jumping to the left side to start our progress for the day. And we should make a lot of headway because there's only a little bit left to do, and we've done a lot of detail in the last 3 parts. And it's coming out looking fine. So what we're going to do first is we're going to go to the top part of the nose. And what I want you to do is switch over to a dark gray. And actually my inventory is empty, so I should probably fill that up with our placement blocks. But I want you to grab the dark gray wool first. And in the center of the nose, what we're going to do is we're going to put 5 placement blocks at the top going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're then going to put 6 of the dark gray wools going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go back and delete the dirt blocks now. From those 6 dark gray wool, what we're going to do is on the left side, we're going to put 1 extra below it. We're then going to go down and to the right, 4 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And on the 4th block, we're just going to put 1 on top of it, and we can fill that in now. So that's our little shading spot. And now we can move on to the left side of the nose. And actually, I messed up there. Instead of dark gray, that's supposed to be light gray. The entire nose is going to be dark gray, but that little spot right there is going to be light gray. So let's swap out the colors real quick. And it's like, whenever I catch little stuff like that, I make sure to change it right away. But sorry for the error. Anyways, on the left side, we're going to go to the left side where we have, I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks with a dirt on the 5th one. And we're going to go down and to the left from it. So go underneath with your placement block. 4 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down and to the left, 3 flat. 1, 2, 3. Down and to the left, 2 flat. And what we're basically doing is shaping out the left cheek once we reach it, but we haven't reached it yet. After that 2 flat, we're going to go down to left 3 single. 1, 2, 3. Down to left 2 vertical. And from this 2 vertical, this is where we're going to do our split in the cheek. At the top of it, we're going to go up and to the left 2 vertical 2 times in a row. So 1, 2, just like this. And we'll do it the second time. We'll then go up and to the left 6 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And as you can see, it's fairly close to the stuff that we had on the wall waiting for it. And it's also starting to look like an oval shape for the cheek. But on the second to last block for the 6 vertical, so this one right here, we're going to do a little bit of the shading. So we're going to take the light gray wool and go up 2 from it. We're then going to go up and to the right, 3 singles, and that should be it for that part of the shading. It's a very simple shading job in this build. Going back to the 6 flat right there, we're just going to connect it to the rest of the wall by going down and to the left, 1 single. And you can get rid of those the 2 flat dirt blocks right there, because now that it's connected, we don't have to worry about it. Now I want you to go back to the 2 vertical we had that's connected the cheek and the rest of the animatronic face. So we're going to go on the bottom block in the 2 vertical now, and we're going to go down into the left 7 vertical from it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And once you have that 7, we're going to go starting from the top. And we're going to count the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th block. So 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. So we ignored the first one. And each of those is going to get 1 piece of block of coal to the left. So if you stick with the 7 vertical on the right side, you can go and shape out the rest of the snout. But on the left side, we're going to shape out the rest of the cheek. And that's what I want to do right now, just to finish it off. So we're going to go down into the left from the 4 vertical. 1 single. Down into left 5 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then up into the left 2 flat. And then we need to bridge this final little corner piece right here by going up into the left 2 vertical. 1, 2. Perfect. So we're gonna have to go and do this on the right side later as well, but it should be fine for now. We're almost done with the left snout, and then we could start teeth and stuff like that. So from the 7 vertical, we're gonna go down and to the right, 1 single. and that should connect with some of the pieces we had before for the jawline. And then we're going to use this new connected to vertical to start what we're doing next. And whoops, I have autosave on. I forgot about that. This is a nice reminder. Let me take that off. Was working on a survival map, so I had the autosave on. Anyways, from there, we're going to go down and to the right, one single. Down and to the right, two vertical. And from that same one single, we can go and do the left side of the mouth that goes underneath the jaw. So what we're going to do from there is go down and to the left 5 flat, so there's 2 points to split off into. See? You can either go with the 5 flat, or you can go with the 2 vertical. Each of these does its own job. We're going to stick with the 2 vertical for now, but you can mark the 5 flat so we can come back to it later, and you know where it is. So from the 2 vertical, what we're going to do is go to the bottom block and put 22 flat pieces of coal going to the right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22. Perfect. So it met at the diagonal of what we were trying to meet. Let's do the teeth that are connected to the 22 now. So start on the left side, and this should be fairly simple to do. We're going to skip the first block that starts with kind of like the 2 vertical. And what I want you to do is go underneath it with white wool. So we're skipping this first block. Underneath it, we're going to put 1 on the next one. So once you have that 1 single, we're going to go down into the right 4 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then up into the right 1 single. And you can fill that in. That's 1 tooth right there. Very easy to do the teeth in this build. Sadly, I haven't done the other backdrop of it, so it's hard to see on the right-hand camera screen, but you can see it on the left one, which is all that really matters. So we went to the right of the final block we place. We're going to put 1 space, and usually there's going to be 1 space between each tooth, unless we're jumping from left to right side of the mouth, then there's going to be a bigger gap. But we're going to put 1 space and then 1 white wool. And from that 1 white wool, we're going to go down into the right 5 flat. So it's the same kind of shape, except it's a different number on the flat side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're then going to go up into the right 1 single again, and that's another tooth knocked out. Very simple compared to my other animatronic builds. If you build any of my other Five Nights at Freddy builds, you notice that the teeth are always jagged and crazy. But this one's pretty simple, which I like. Very clean. For the final tooth, we're going to put 1 space again and 1 white wool. And then we're going to go down into the right 5 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're going to finish it by going up into the right 1 single. So it stops just before the gap in the middle of the snout. And that's it for the top row on the left side. There is another part over there, but we haven't done the right side of the cheek yet. So we're not going to do that. We're going to go instead to the top right of the snout. And let's bring this part around because we already did the top left of it. Let's do the top right. And I would like to bring that part around for the bottom of the jaw. But, you know, let's make sure, just in case if I don't finish the entire tutorial on this part, at least both sides of the cheeks are done. So let's go to the top right here where we have the 6 flat and a dirt block on the end of it. And what I want you to do is go down into the right 3 flat. So 1, 2, 3. And delete your placement block. And then place a new one at the bottom so we can continue. Down into the right 4 flat. 1, 2, whoops. 2, 3, 4. Down into the right 2 flat. 1, 2. Down to the right 2 vertical. Down to the right 1 single. Down to the right 2 vertical again. And from that 2 vertical, what you can do is start curving it up and to the right, into the top of the cheekbone. So what we're going to do is go to the top block in it, not the bottom block. The bottom block is coming soon. But on the top block, we're going to go up and to the right 2 vertical 2 times in a row. So these are a lot of 2 verticals, but it should connect at the diagonal when we're done, which it did. And you can now delete all the dirt blocks except for the bottom one on this 2 vertical right here, including the 7 flat we had over here, because now that they've touched, we don't need to worry about it. So let's go to the bottom block in a 2 vertical, and we are going to split off into doing the rest of the cheek, just like we did on the right side. I mean the left side, sorry. So what I want you to do is we're going to go down and to the right from this 2 vertical, 6 vertical. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And on that 6 vertical, we're going to pick the top 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. And put 1 piece of coal to the right of each of them. From those three, we're going to take the top two. We're going to take the top block and add 2 to the top. I worded that funny. And now we should have a 5 strip. From that 5 strip, we're going to go to the bottom block and go down and to the right, 2 vertical. And on the bottom block and that 2 vertical, we're going to start slanting to the right by going right 1 block from it. Now to lock out this shape, all we're going to do is go down and to the right 5 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Up and to the right 2 flat. And on the right block and the 2 flat, we're going to add 1 to the top, and we should be done with that. Easy. Now, kind of like we did with the left side, the right side also has some light gray stuff for shading in the top part of the cheek. So what I want you to do is go to the 7 flat we have at the top right here, and on the final block, we're going to go up and to the right 1 light gray. We're then going to go up and to the left 2 singles from there. So 1, 2. Up and to the left 2 vertical. And we're going to finish that off with another single going up and to the left. So that's it for the shading there. Now let's drop down to the bottom of the jaw over there where we have the 6 vertical that was next to the cheek that we didn't finish. This should be the bottom block just hanging by itself. And what you can do is start going down and to the left from there. So let's put our placement block on the bottom or left side. Just go down and to the left 2 vertical. Down and to the left 3 vertical. And from that 3 vertical, what you can do is on the bottom block, we're going to do 2 things. First, to the right of it, we're going to put 8 going to the right, and it should touch the wall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. We're then going to go back to that same 3 vertical, and underneath it, we're going to put 1 below it, and then add 23 to the left so that we can have a 24 flat length strip to connect the snout. So add 23 to the left of this newly placed bottom block. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Perfect. So it met up with the rest of the nose at the diagonal. Now we can do the top row of teeth, kind of like what we did on the left side, and then we'll start the bottom row of the jaw with like spots like right here. This 4 flat can be used to start the bottom part of the jaw, so we have a nice spot. We also have one over there that we can use to connect, so we should be fine. Let's do the teeth. So kind of like we did on the left side, the first block on the right side is going to get skipped, and then we're going to put 1 single after that. We're then going to go down into left 4 flat from that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then up into the left, 1 single, and that's going to be 1 tooth. From there, we're going to put 1 space, and then 1 white wool again. We're then going to go down into left 5 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then up into left 1 single. And that's another tooth. For the final tooth, we're going to skip 2 spaces now. And then put 1 white wool. We're then going to put a second white wool to the left of it. And just to finish this up, we're going to go down into left 4 flat. Up and to the left 1 single, and that is the final tooth on the top row. Very easy to do. And now we've got majority of the pixel art complete. All we need to do now is the bottom jaw and some shading stuff, and we should be done. So while we're going through the bottom jaw, I think I will go over the teeth while we're doing the shape of it. So let's start from the 4 flat we have on the right side, and we're gonna go down into the left from it, another 4 flat. So delete these placement blocks, get another one underneath the final block, and just add 4 flat going like that. And from that 4 flat, we're going to pick the 3 blocks on the right and put 1 white wool above each of those. Once you have that 3 flat, we're going to go another row of 3 above it and add an extra 1 single to the left on the top row only. So that's the first tooth. Going back doing the jaw. So when I say the jaw, we're going to be talking about the blocks of coal. When I say the tooth, we're going to be talking about the white stuff that's sticking out. So for the jaw, we're going to go down into the left 16 flat now. And there's actually going to be 2 teeth on this 1 strip. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And because 16 is a big number, we split it into 2 groups of 8. You can also split it into 4 groups of 4 or 1 group of 16. That's a multiplication for you, laying down some knowledge. That was weird. I'm not going to do that again. Anyways, on the right side of the 16, we're going to go up 2 vertical from it with white wool. We're then going to go up and to the left, 4 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Voice just cracked there. That's pretty cringy. We're then going to go down and to left, 2 vertical. And we're going to fill in that tooth. We're then going to put 1 space between. And we're going to go 8 flat to the left of that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you can actually double up that row for a thicker tooth, and we should be fine. Next, for the jawline, we're going to go down and to left, 7 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And once you have that 7 flat, what we're going to do is we're going to just make a 3 high tooth on every one of those blocks. So, whoops, that's the wrong color. So the tooth is going to be 7 long and it's going to be 3 tall. So just do 3 rows of 7 white wool and you should be fine. That's the entire right hand side of the tooth done. So now we're going to do the split in the jawline that goes, and like, you know how there has the split in the animatronic face, like right down the middle? We didn't do the bottom half yet, so we're going to do that. From the jawline, we're going to go down and to the left, 15 vertical pieces of blocks of coal. And we're going to do that 2 thick, so that the right side has 1 and the left side has 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. As you can see, it touched the bottom, so you can just do this with the second row and you should be fine. We're then going to do the left side of the bottom jaw. So let's go up and to the left now, 8 flat. And once you have that 8 flat, the first 7 blocks from the right side is going to get the same size tooth as this one over here. So it's going to be 3 high, 7 long, but it's only on the first 7 blocks starting from the right side. This last block is going to be left alone, and it's also going to be used for our spacing for the next tooth, because we use 1 space between each tooth. So the next tooth is going to start like pretty much right here. Now from the jawline, we're going to go up and to the left, 17 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. But like I said, the next tooth is going to start on this first block. So all we're going to do is go up 2 white wool from it. We're then going to add 6 to the left of it to make it 7 in length. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that's going to be the size of that tooth, so you can fill it in now. And you should be fine. Wow, I'm missing every block now. Anyways, we're going to put 1 space there. And then 2 white wool to the left of it after the space. And let's double up the height on that 2 white wool, so it's 2 high now. We're then going to go up and to the left, 4 flat. Down and to the left, 2 vertical. And you can fill in that tooth now. And we're almost done. To the top of the 4, and these we're going to put 1 space next to the left of each of them. And on the top row, we're going to put 4 white wool to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're then going to skip the first block because it's blocked on the underneath it. But the second block is going to get 2 underneath it. And then the third and fourth block are going to get 1 underneath those. And that's actually the final tooth, believe it or not. So let's just work on jaw and shading and we should be done. So working on the jawline after the 17 flat, we're going to up and to left 3 flat. And from the final block in the 3 flat, we're going to put 1 underneath it and go up and to left 2 flat from it so that we have the 2 splitting off endings. The 2 flat's going to circle up and touch the 5 flat we had up there. And this 1 underneath is actually supposed to be shading, so my bad for putting it in black. We're going to put that in light gray. That's actually going to be shading for later. So let's finish up with the 2 flat. From this 2 flat, we're going to up and to left, 2 single. Up and to left, 2 vertical. And then we're going to curve to the top right and finish off with this angle right here. So we're going to up and to the right, 1 single. Up and to the right, 2 flat. And that completes the mouth. And we've done the top part of the shading. We've done pretty much all of it. Let's just do the bottom of the mouth and we will be done. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it so far. If you made it this far, I'm pretty sure some of you have been able to do it to the thumbnail without my help. But we're just going to do the bottom of the shading for the jaw and we'll be done. So switch over to your light wool. So switching over to our light gray wool, we're going to go underneath this single right here. And we're going down and to the right, 2 vertical, 2 times in a row. 1, 2, 1, 2. From the second set, we're going to go to the bottom block and put 1 to the right. We're then going to go down to the right, 2 single. Down and to the right, 1 single. Down and to the right, 4 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to the right, 3 flat. Down to the right, 8 flat. We're almost done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now we're going to climb up with a little bit of the angle just to get some of the shading to touch the top of the wall. We're going to up and to the right, 2 flat. And then up and to the right, 2 single. And we should be touching the wall with the end of that. And that's it for the left side. We're done with the left side of the pixel art. The right side, however, is a different story. We have a little bit more to work with and then we'll be done. So on the right side, going 1 above where we touched the 2 flat right here. So 1 above it on the right side. We're going to put 2 flat coming out of it. Just like that. From the right block in that 2 flat, we're going to put 1 underneath. And here's where our little final stretch ends. Or begins, sorry. We're going to go down and to the right, 2 flat, 2 times in a row. 1, 2. 1, 2. Down and to the right, 3 flat. Down and to the right, 4 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down to the right, 7 flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now what we're going to do is start going up now and curving to the top of the jaw. So let's start curving up and to the right. So put your placement block on the top or to the right side, it's still fine. 4 flat, 1, 2, 3, 4. Up and to the right, 2 flat, 4 times in a row, and this should be the end. So 1, 2, whoops, 2, 3, and finally 4. And that should touch the end of the wall right there. So if you made it this far, you're at the end of the tutorial, guys, so congratulations for sticking it out. I will be jumping into the finished build to show it off and tell you guys the colors, and hopefully you guys are able to follow along to this point. If you are able, like if this is the end for you guys, like you know how to do it from the thumbnail and you don't need the finished build to find out what you're doing, then I thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully you subscribe if you're new and leave a like on the video. But I will see you guys in a quick jump cut. So I'm here with the finished build, and I'd like to thank you guys for making it this far once again. If you need to know what the colors in my tray, they are gray wool, light gray wool, white wool, cyan, black wool, purple hardened clay, and magenta hardened clay. And those are the 7 we're going to be using to finish up this build. So starting from the bottom, and now we're here. Whoa, no, let me stop. The bottom half of what we did for shading is going to be light gray, as you can see, on both sides. And everything above that's going to be white. We're then going to move up into the mouth. We did the separation already. Everything inside the mouth is going to be black wool. I think I accidentally did the frame for this one with black wool, so I ended up doing the inside with coal. But since I usually do the frame with coal, the inside of the mouth was supposed to be black wool. So you guys can use that there. And it goes all the way from left to right. A little indicator for when to stop is up here in the left part of the jaw. We do have a little bit of space right here that's not going to be black wool. As you can see, it's not really the below cheek area, but it's like back mouth. And that's going to be light gray wool right there, this little corner. Anyways, moving on to the snout and cheeks. Below the cheeks, I did put a little bit of light gray shading right here, but you don't have to. I like to do that on the left side, and I put it up into the side of the face. But this is going to be white wool, usually. White wool right there, white wool in there. And the cheek is going to be purple stained clay, or purple hardened clay. And that goes for both cheeks. Along with the inner ear and the little band on the hat. Those are all going to be purple hardened clay, if you want to get those out of the way real quick. Above the cheek, where I had this little outline with light gray, you can put the left side is going to be light gray, and everything to the right of it's white wool. And that's the same thing that goes on the right side of the face. To everything to the right of that is going to be light gray, and to the left is going to be white wool. And I did a little bit of the shading down here as well, below the cheek, but everything's supposed to be white wool. For the snout, we're going to use the magenta hardened clay on both sides. And that's pretty simple. I didn't put much shading in there, or any shading at all actually, because I wanted to keep this pixel art basic, and it still looks kind of good, or I think it looks good. And then we can move on to the nose. We did the shading spot in the nose, but we didn't color it fully yet. That's going to be dark gray wool. And then we're done with the lower half of the face. We can now move on to the eyes, the ears, and the hat, which I've already talked about a little bit. So for the eyes, we have the border right here. We're going to use the magenta hardened clay for the first row. Then we have the outside of the outline of the eyeball, kind of like bordering it out. Inside there we have white, then cyan, then black. And that's the same structure for both eyes, so it's very simple to follow along with. I already outlined everything for you, so you just need to color it. And then the rest of the face is going to be white, except for the eyebrows, which are going to be more black wool. Moving on to the ear, remember I told you to put glass in here because these are going to be left empty, but the other stuff is going to be dark gray wool inside, and that goes for both sides of the ear, as you can see. Then we have white wool, followed by the purple hardened clay. And that's just both ears, simple as that. And then we can move on to the hat. For the hat, we used the magenta hardened clay, I believe. Is this magenta? Yeah, it's magenta. If I said purple hardened clay for the hat, I was wrong. It's magenta, guys. Make sure you use magenta. So magenta is going to be the hat, the eyes, and the nose. The cheeks and the ears are going to be the purple. Anyways, outside of that, though, we're going to use black wool for the tops. And then you should be done. So let me just leave that on screen and move out the way for you guys so you can see if you need to. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this tutorial. Be sure to hit the pause button if you need to look at this more while you're filling in your build. But for those of you who are done, be sure to send me your finished builds on Twitter. The link will be in the description below. We're almost at 1,000 Twitter follows, guys. So it's pretty amazing. Thank you for all the support on the channel. I will have more FNAF builds coming, like Ballora, Bidybab, maybe some of the mini arenas, and I might even redo Ennard as a bigger build. But yeah, that's for the future, guys. Hopefully you guys are enjoying. This is Phoenix, and as always, I will see you guys later. Bye.